Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. Here's your host, Brien Hanley.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. Welcome back to Big 12 Insiders. I know we usually go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the off season, but we got news and we got to talk about it. BYU, Jake Retzlaff, a lot going on in that situation. We're going to dig into that a little bit, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on why I believe BYU fans, you should be furious. Absolutely furious. So we'll discuss that. Before we do, remember, everybody, continue, like, follow, subscribe, continue to get into that comment section like you guys always do, and hit the notification bell so you know exactly when Big 12 Insiders content comes out. Look, to me, if I'm BYU, the athletic department, coaches, players, fans, I'm frustrated. Not frustrated, I'm furious. And here's why. First off, Jake Retzlaff, the case against him has been dismissed. They jointly agreed to dismiss the case with prejudice. Again, I'm not a lawyer, legal expert, anything like that. But to me, it kind of sounds like he sued back, which is what I said from the beginning. And I always say this. If you're innocent of something, you don't get to ruin my name. You don't get to say that I did something that my mother's got to see or my grandmother would have had to see. And this is me speaking while I was in college. You just don't get to ruin my name and my reputation for something that I didn't do. So he hit back, and all of a sudden, it goes away. Now, does that mean maybe somebody got paid behind the table? I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. None of my business, to be quite frank with you. But the case has been dismissed. But why BYU and everybody involved should be furious is because now Jake Retzlaff is talking about transferring. He had to admit to having consensual sex, and which is why it's not a crime. It does happen to be against BYU's honor code. All things that he knew before he went to BYU. Like, he knew the deal. He understood the situation. And, he went there anyway. And again, whether you think it's a good code or whatever, that's not for us to decide. That's for that school to decide. They've got their reasons, whatever. It's none of our business. But if you do decide to go there, you have to follow the rules. Just like anywhere that has rules, you have to follow those rules or there's consequences. Theirs can be strict. So word came out that Retzlaff could possibly be suspended for the first 7 games. That's kind of the rumor going around. And like you said, rumors are rumors, but when there's smoke, there's fire. Suspension was going to come because BYU would have had an enormous amount of egg on its face if they didn't do anything. They had to do something. A lot of people say, hey, kick him out. Can't come back here. It's got to be gone. Others say, suspend him for a little while. Let him continue, which it kind of sounds like BYU was doing. 7 games. I mean, that's more than half the season. That's pretty substantial. Others are saying, you know what? It slap him on the wrist. We got football games to win. I will be honest with that approach. I haven't heard a lot of BYU fans saying that. I haven't heard anybody that follows BYU say, no big deal. Slap him on the wrist. Just let it go. I've heard that from people outside of it, but I haven't heard that from people that either follow BYU. I haven't heard that from them at all. They're like, no, this is an honor code thing. You got to pay the consequences. Now, what those consequences are, again, rumors are out there. We don't really know. But now he's running. And to me, I'm like, well, wait a minute. If you knew the consequence, you knew what the rules were, you broke them anyway. Now you got to face the consequences, and now you're running? Well, hold on. And if I'm BYU, I can't kick his ass out fast enough. Now, I'm sorry. I usually don't say things like that about kids, but that's just how I feel. If that's really the case that he's running, and apparently it is, he's looking to transfer, good. Get out, stay out, don't come back. And while he's a talented quarterback, I don't think he's irreplaceable. I mean, BYU may not have somebody on their roster right now that's as good, but I don't think the guy's irreplaceable because now you're just spitting in BYU's face, in my opinion. Now the kid's spitting in their face because, yeah, I know I had these rules. Yeah, I know I had to follow the rules. Yeah, I chose to break them anyway. So what? I got caught. Now there's consequences, and I'm not going to deal with the consequences. I'm leaving. Now, for any people that say, Big B, you're blowing this way out of proportion, isn't that what we say about kids that just transfer? Isn't that what we say about the guy that comes in as a freshman, doesn't play, and then leaves? Don't we say that about him? That he just quits? And that kid didn't break a rule. That kid didn't do anything other than, well, I didn't get to play. This may not be the right fit for me. I'm going somewhere else. Here, we've got a situation where you break college rules, an honor code. And instead of dealing with those consequences, nope, I can leave. So I'm going to leave. I don't like it. I think it's despicable, to be quite honest with you. I think this is the coward's way out of you you making a mistake and not owning up to the mistake that you made. And again, I'm not talking about any assault charge. I'm not talking about anything breaking the law because, again, I'm not a lawyer. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. It's none of my business. Having said that, here's a situation where, look, you made a mistake. People forgive certain mistakes. Now, you don't forgive every mistake, but people forgive certain mistakes. This is one that can be forgiven. Is there a price that needs to be paid? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that you can't be forgiven. And I feel like his team, his coaches, fans, everybody would have said, hey, man, we get it. We get it. You paid a price. Now come back, work your ass off, and let's try to win as many football games as possible. Now he's looking to leave? I don't know. Like I said, I think it's weak. And again, you all know me, or for the ones that do know me, I don't talk about kids this way. I just don't. Because I know there's a lot of you out there, he's over 18, he's not a kid anymore. I'm sorry, I still look at him as kids. I still do. But truth is truth. You know, again, for the people that know me, I'm going to call it like it is, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. I'm just going to tell you how I feel. And I just think it's one of the weakest moves that I think somebody could make. You make a mistake, and instead of just owning up to it, you're going to cut bait and just run? I don't like it. I don't like it. And again, if we're going to be mad at kids that transfer and talk about them and say they quit, they have no sense of loyalty. Where's their commitment? What's this? Where you get in trouble, school stands by you, but because they're going to hold you accountable, you don't want to be there anymore? Like I said, if I'm BYU, pack his bags for him and ship him off. That's harsh. Don't care. That's the way I feel. And if I was BYU fans, I'd look, yeah, it's probably going to cost you some football games this year. Yep, that's the harsh reality. But it was going to cost you football games anyway because he was going to be suspended. And if the guys that are behind him aren't very good, you were going to lose anyway. So what difference does it make? I'm just saying. Now you can have, your dignity, your pride, and stand up for what you believe in. Whether anybody else thinks it's right or wrong, it really doesn't matter. But for him to do this in the face of that type of adversity, again, adversity that you caused is not something that you're having to overcome, something that somebody else did to you. You did this. And for you to cut and run, man, I'll be honest. I hope he stays. I hope that this rumor, which I got a feeling it's not a rumor, I hope that he comes to his senses and says, you know what, guys, I was compounding. I was letting one mistake and it was leading me to another mistake. I got emotional. I need to just take a step back and say, you know what, I need to deal with the punishment. and stick with the school and team, coaches, players, friends that stuck by me. I need to stay. I'm sorry. That's what he needs to do. But leaving? Nah, I don't like this. And you all also know me. I am pro player. I'm always pro player. I always take the player's side when it makes sense. And in this instance, it does not make sense. I'm sorry. Doesn't make sense. There'll be some people that disagree. Please get in the comments and let me know. We'll go back and forth. As long as we're respectful to each other, I'm good with it. I just don't like it. I don't like it for BYU. I don't. I don't like it. I think there's a better way that this could all be handled, and I think the young man has to just own up to what's going on. Also, now here's another flip side to this. Maybe behind the scenes, BYU doesn't want him back. Maybe BYU saying no. Maybe the 7-game rumor really isn't that. Maybe it's all year. But even if it is all year, okay. Again, you caused this. BYU didn't do this. You did. So if it is all year, take your medicine. And I know, hey, he's wanting to play football and he needs an opportunity. And I get it. Whatever. But I just don't like it, man. I don't like it. I think there's a better way for this young man to handle the situation. I think BYU was caught between a rock and a hard place of something that they did not create. They did what they thought was best. And now they're getting slapped in, not slapped in, they're getting spit on. They're getting spit on, and I don't like that for BYU people. So, all right, I appreciate you guys, man. That's just kind of how I feel. Sorry for the rant, but I felt it was important for me to at least come out and say something about it. We'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. You guys have a good one.
Thank you for watching the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. This has been a Spirit Street production.